Very good news, Azizul Hasni won the second place in Kirin Olympic. So he
Watching
received
now,
silver.
brother.
Ha? Mau tengok Dia tunggu bawah kejap tadi. Okay. So we continue. Okay. Formulate. Okay, we try to finish at 12 for this for today. Okay. So after I complete my lecture, so we can have a discussion, okay, especially on the assessment. Okay. So I can give you example later on. Okay. Okay. Formulating the problem, focus on the subject for research to examine the subject in multi-facet. Okay. To apply any creativity. Okay. A method of processes. Subdividing. Okay. Free association. Okay. Asking question and combined approach. Okay. So this is a common methods. Okay. So it depends on what approach that you want to use. Okay. So subdividing, divide the general area into progressively small units. Okay, so dividing it until one reach a subject that is interested in researching. Okay. So for example, for my case, yeah, I okay when yeah during the first time I meet my supervisor. Okay. So he showed me two equipment. Okay. So which equipment that you want to use? Okay. So I choose the testing chamber, which is can use to carry out for the 1G physical testing. Okay. So from there, okay, he asked me, okay, you can look on the ground improvement problems. Okay. So in the ground improvement problems, okay, we have a lot of groups of area. Okay, so in that case, based on the reading that I've made, so I look on the deep mixing method. Okay, so from the deep mixing method, and then I divide it into a small parameter. Okay, and then I only investigate on this parameter only. Okay, so that is what is subdividing all about. Okay. So pre-association is the practice of writing down words or phrases that occur to us as they come to mind without worrying about order, spelling, applicability, or any other judgment. So you can write down whatever that you feel, okay, and then yeah, after certain times, you can get the idea, okay, especially on the methodology. Okay, when we preparing when preparing our dissertation, okay, when preparing your dissertation, okay, so the easy way in writing is on your chapter 1 and your chapter 3. Chapter 1 is on introduction, and the chapter 3 is more on what we call as on the methodology. Okay, so because methodology, you are very familiar what type of method that you will use. Okay, so then come up with your literature review is the last part. Okay, because you need to gather all the information from the previous researcher. Okay. But please make sure that you're already firm with your decision in terms of the topic that you want to investigate. Okay, because later on, if you are not firm, you will have a difficulty in finding the literature review. Okay. So asking question, okay, this is the 5 common question that you can ask, okay, which is 5W and 1H. Okay. So asking question to which you want answer is still another way of narrowing a topic to a subject. Okay. So for example, who, what, where, when, why, and how. However, normally for engineering background, so the important things that normally ask is how, okay, how we can carry out for the testing. Okay, so what is the method that we can use, okay, and why, okay, why why this trend show, or why this result show this kind of trend, okay, who, where, when is not very important for us. Okay, so this question can help to select research problems, okay, who, people, what, problem, thing, idea, where, place, by, cost, so in that case, that's why I mentioned it, what, why, and how. Okay, so okay, so combined method, it is much more satisfactory practice to combine all the above approach in formulating problems. Okay, so yeah, you can combine the subdividing, the free associations, and also the questions. Okay, in order for you to come up with your problems. Okay. Okay, so research question. Good research question have four essential characteristics. Okay, it is feasible, okay, clear, okay, significance, and ethical. Okay, so I guess we doesn't have any problem with the ethical. We are not using any yeah. Make sure that the solution that we use, okay, for the treatment, for example, for the ground treatment, is not harm to the environments. Okay, and we are not tested on what we call it, on uh living creature. For example, we tested on animal. Okay, so there will be no there will be no a big issue on the ethical for us. But the main thing is the feasible, clear, and significant. Okay, generally written in question form, but they can be written as a statement. Okay, so it differs with the statement of the purpose. Okay, so I guess I have discussed on the research problems, okay, where normally we put in the statement, not in the question form. So research question, developing problem question or research question, okay. So in your chapter one, so it's not important for you to leave research question, okay, or to have a research question section, okay. But if you put in your chapter one, so there will be no problems. So at least this section can provide a picture, okay, on what you want to investigate, okay, because you put the question and later on the question will you may answer in your finding, okay. So developing problem question or research question, the significant, a clear stated research question or research problem would streamline a research effort, okay. So usefulness, the research question should guide subsequent work, okay, influence information gather, okay, guide data analysis, include the content of the writing. But for my case, I'm not listed the research question in my chapter one, okay, because uh, my problem statement is very clear, okay. So I'm using the problem statement rather than a research section. So this is first effort, minimize for start, save time, and the okay. So developing or research question, okay. Start with broad question and ask question that you can be would okay. For example, is better for you to find the most recent paper, okay. Be starting, yeah, now it's 2021. Okay, you try to find any manuscript or start from 2006.
Doctor, I'm losing your voice. The doctor can hear.
Okay, sorry. Shut. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, doctor, yes.
Okay. Okay. You can use your reference book, the common reference book in your particular problems. Okay. Then you can work out or you can find the most recent reference book. Okay. So try to find on 2020. Okay. Let's say in your technical problem, in your technical subject. So you can find Raja MDAS, okay, or in what we call in foundation, Tomlinson. Okay. So that is a common a popular reference book for geotechnic. Okay. So try to get the most recent reference book. Okay. Because they have an updated version. Okay. Then from there you can work out to find for any reference book, a reference journal, uh, to have a more understanding on that particular problems. Okay. So I guess Dr. Hisham will show you how to get what we call as to get any new how to get a journal from the website or from the library. Okay, because you are UTM student, so you can you have been UTM has subscribed several search engine like Scopus, uh, Web of Science, okay, to for you to get the most recent literature. Okay. So constructing research question, okay, 5 possible approach, okay, assuming, analyzing, okay, evaluating or criticizing, comparing and contrasting, okay, relating, okay, and arguing or persuading. Okay, so this is 5 possible approach in constructing research question. So key feature of research question is important to learn to shape answerable question, okay, and to estimate whether they will develop enough new knowledge to justify the time, effort, and expense of investigations. Okay. So for your case, times, effort, I guess the expense not very important for you because you use whatever's available data from your work or company. Okay. So features of reachable question, answerable, not just one question. Okay. So it should have multiple question. Okay. Define operationally and need answering. Okay. So again, it will be an additional, or if you can add your research question in your chapter 1, I guess it's not important. Okay. But to begin with, you can have a list of questions for your problems. Okay. A simple, for example, a simple question. Okay. So what is the improvement of the bearing capacity? Okay, by using deep mixing methods for the soft soil condition. Okay, so that is question that we can raise. Okay. So different with hypothesis. Hypothesis, let's say when we increase the improvement area ratio, okay, the bearing capacity of the soil, of the treated soil will increase. Okay, so that is the hypothesis. Okay. So this is question we try to create as many questions. Okay, then we get the answer later on when we carry out the test. Okay. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Okay, I have stated previously. Okay, but this is more. I will provide more example. Okay, so problem statement either formal like a static statement. Okay, informal like explanatory sentence. So for us, we it's better for use the formal problem statement approach. Okay, so their primary function are to help the reader see why your document is important. Okay, help create rise awareness of an issue. Okay, to write strong problem statement, you should keep in mind the terminology, share belief and mindset. Okay, canonical words. Okay, so that is the strong problem statement. But I will share with you some example of the problem, how you address your problem statement. Okay, okay, for example, for this case, okay, so this is a general, what we call general statement. Okay. Okay. Actually, to be safe, okay, in your writing, okay, you should add as many reference uh, in these type statements. Okay. Although many content in better are commercially available, such as okay, blah 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 blah. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. So you can add a reference, okay, after the sentence. Okay. Of and or after the this solution or material, so you put the reference. Okay, so it means that you refer to someone else, what we call as uh, paper. Okay, so especially to produce and also frequently have a potential to cause short-term or long-term damage to human health. Okay, so that is the problems. Okay, by causing detrimental effect to organs such as liver or kidney. Okay, so this is the problems. Okay, okay. So this method would help. Okay, for the uh, 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 to help in the constructions work. Okay. While there are few published study of the successful use plant extract as correction is better on steel reinforcement for only short time and specific applications. Okay, so few published, so it's better to include also the reference. Okay. So people will be asked, what is the reference? Okay. So every statement that you rely on any previous work, so it's better to include the reference. Okay. So in this regard, green nanoparticle being prospective corrosion is inhibitor for steel reinforcement in aggressive environment remain unexplored. Okay. So this is the problem statement. Okay. Okay. How did they create the problem statement? Okay. The term is unexplored. Okay. Or to be safe, okay, you can put a less study, okay, because might be there are some study has been made, but it's not it's still less, okay. So plant product extract silver nanoparticle from combined silver nitrate and plants are not only inexpensive, okay. So this is the benefit, okay. But they display low toxicity. Okay, so this is the benefit of your study. So you should address also the benefit as well. Okay, beside you include the problems statement. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Okay, so this is unexplored. We can see this as a problem statement as well. Okay, but this is the solutions to solve the problems. Okay, so and this is the benefits. Okay, you also need to include the benefit of the study. Okay. Okay, so this is one of example. Okay. So another example is on the latex in concrete. Okay. Okay, so the author has put the reference. Okay. I'm not sure what is NRL. It might be it is a product. Okay. To enhance the persistent shortcoming identified on normal concrete as well as tackling the mechanism. Okay. So this is the problem. Sorry, this is the problem. Okay. Okay. This is the solutions. Okay. So this is the benefit. Okay. 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 So this is also the problem statement as well. Okay. So the one that they there's been uh, line problem statement. Okay. So this is the problem statement as well. Okay. So from there, the reader know what is the problem that you want to emphasize. Okay. And then what is the benefit that we can get from this study. Okay. Tropical reinforced climate on corrosions. Okay, so this is on the corrosion problems. Okay. Okay, so this is the main issue. Okay, or we can call it as also a problem statement. Okay. Okay, so will be the benefit as well. Okay. Okay. And this is the main we call as the main problems. Okay? The main problem statement there. Okay? So yeah, basically the problem with this sense with this statement, they doesn't put the citations, okay, or the reference, okay, because we cannot simply come up with our general statement without refer to any previous paper or work. Okay, okay, example of the flow. A problem, something that needs. So I have a problem with my data. Can you hear me?
Now can, but just now cannot.
Hello? Okay. Okay. Research problem, justification for research.
Your voice is lagging, doctor.
Is the problems. Sorry. Uh, okay. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, yes.
Okay.
Yes, now yes, doctor.
So this is an example of the flow of idea in the problem statement. Okay. So they study on the ethical issue in the colleague. Okay. Then from there, they have a problems on ethical violation among football recruiters. Okay. So they find any example from the literature. Okay. And then also the reports of the violations. Okay. So description and identifying and characterizing the violation. Okay, so then based on the report that the violation that they have, so they look on and identify uh, the criteria. Okay, and then at the end they assess the violation, help recruiters develop better ethical standard, help athletes understand ethical issue. Okay. Yeah, they have narrowed down the problems. Okay, so this is just example related to the ethical issue. Okay, So, but I guess on the management study, okay, you can look on the ethical issue as well. So you can use this kind of example in your study. Okay. So the body of a research report, okay, um, for your master project one, okay, we call it a technical paper, okay. So you need to prepare for your technical paper in your master project later on. Okay, so you have master project one, and then you have what we call as master project two. Okay, so yeah, based on the current assessment, okay, so at least it may help you, okay, for you to prepare for your master project one assessment as well. Okay, because when your supervisor want to provide the marks for your master project one, so they will refer to your chapter one, chapter two, and chapter three. Okay, so in this sense, okay, at least you have the idea, okay, to prepare for your chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, okay, based on the given assessment. Okay. Okay. However, when you want to be assessed during your master project one, okay, so you need to prepare for your technical paper, okay, because there will be the committee we select one panel, okay, and then you need to present to the panel, okay. So you need to present your work to the panel. Okay, so you need to prepare this research report. Okay, consists of introduction, okay, literature review, material, okay, result, and can you hear me? Sorry? Huh? Hello? Clear tak?
Clear, Doctor.
So you should have an introduction part. Okay. Background of research problem. Okay. Okay. For your chapter one, so this is for your chapter one actually. Okay. So you have an introduction. Okay. Background or research background, problem statement, aim and objective, scope of research. This is related to the limitation as well. Okay. So for your chapter one, okay, you can start to have this kind of subsection. Okay. So at least for chapter one, more than less 5 pages. Okay. While for the chapter two, okay, for your literature review, okay. Sorry. Okay. For your literature review, okay. Yeah, you should have an introduction part, okay, to discuss on what will be the chapter discussed in the chapter 2, okay. So then you need to list all the previous study, okay. And then you need to have what we call as a summary, okay. So the summary normally we put in a table form, okay. So put the name of the previous study, okay, or previous author, let's say A, okay, and then what is his finding, okay, sorry, finding, and then you can put your comment here, okay. format. Okay. So because the summary will try to guide the author, okay, to understand what is the research gap. Okay. You should have introduction, previous study, okay, and the summary section. Okay. So methodology is more on the method that you may use. Okay. Normally you put in the flow chart. Okay. So the flow chart may help to easy for the reader to understand. Okay. So on the literature review, normally try to put as many figures, table, okay, to describe your problems and also to describe what is the previous study has been carried out by the previous researcher. Okay, so the methodology also should have a flow chart. Okay, at the same time should show what is the instrument that you use. Okay, okay. Then later on the, let's say on the chapter 4 is the result and analysis of data. Okay, so do not discuss on the methods in the chapter 4, just discuss on the data and then provide a comment on the data that you have achieved. Okay. So the summary and conclusions, okay, which is answer to the aim and objective. Okay. Let's say you have 3 objectives. So in your conclusion, you try to put in the 3 section, okay, which is answer the objective of your study. Okay. And the last one is the recommendations. Okay. The recommendation actually is help to provide an advice, okay, for any future researcher, okay, to put any efforts, okay, to carry out for the further study, okay, based on your current limitations. Okay, so the recommendation is answer to the scope of research. Okay, but you need to provide a recommendation which is feasible to be achieved by the future researcher. So you cannot simply put whatever that you feel that can be carried out by the future researcher. Okay. So also very important to show your maturity, okay? Because you have a certain limit of time, so you cannot cover within the 2 months of period. So then you can suggest for the other to carry out later on. Okay. Okay. So for the introduction part, okay, which is I have discussed previously, okay, background, a brief review of related literature, statement of the problems, okay, aims and objective, okay. So you can also put the hypothesis or research question, okay, but for proposals is okay, okay. For a proposal, okay, because in your what we call it, in your master project 1, okay, so you need to come up with a proposal, okay. So the proposal you can include for the statement of hypothesis and research question, okay. But in your thesis, in your dissertations, no need to have hypothesis of research question, okay. So limitation is more related to scope of work, okay. Let's say if you only use one of small scale physical modeling, okay, so you need to mention, and then what is the parameter that you want to investigate, okay. So when people look on the scope of work, so he or she will not ask more than that, okay, because that you have already stated in your scope of work, okay. So definition of terms, okay, yeah, if you are using terms or abbreviation that's not familiar, so you need to define it, okay. Okay, methodology, procedure for collection, treatment, data, material use, property equipment use, procedure of testing, okay, result, analysis of data, presentation of data, describe the and analyze the data. Okay. So summary, conclusions and recommendation. Okay, summary, conclusion, recommendation for future work. Okay, as I discussed previously. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's all for the slide. Okay. So this is just comic, okay? Before you go to sleep tonight, be sure you put out the light, okay? So his husband has put the light out, okay? So the problem with the communication, okay? So that's all. Okay, I will show with you one of technical paper produced by the last semester student, okay? Can you see the PDF? Can you see the PDF? Hello?
Yeah, Doctor. Now
Yes,
yeah.
Doctor.
Okay. So this is the project for the last assignment. Okay. So he put in the 3 chapter, okay, introduction, chapter 1, okay, literature review, chapter 2, okay. And the last one is the methodology, okay. Okay. So you need to have these 3 chapter, okay. And then reference as well. Okay. No need for you to add for the research schedule, okay, or expected finding. Okay. So in the chapter 1, okay, they have an introduction, which is the overview. Okay. So you need to add as many as reference that you can, okay, but not in detail, okay, because we want to find what is the problems, okay, for your study. Okay, so for me, avoid to use EndNote or 100% rely on the EndNote or any software for the reference. Okay, for example, for this is not a good writing for the reference. Okay, if it's more than 2, so we need to use Li et al. Okay, not Li, Chai, and Lim. Okay, okay. So then, because I guess he used the EndNote, okay? So it's better for, if you want to use the EndNote or whatever software, so please, you check again manually, okay? Okay, so then he come with the problem statement, okay? Okay, so this is also one of example, it's not a proper way to write for the
Doctor,
reference. Okay?
is there any specific format for the referencing?
Either you want to use the Harvard or the numbering format. So this is the Harvard
Okay.
style. So if you are using the numbering, so you can put the number only. Okay. Okay. But for me, it's better to use the Harvard style. Okay. Because most of the journal, okay, for example, if you want to submit for a journal later on, most of the journal are using the Harvard style format for the referencing. So then he come up, okay, here's a study of indeterminate difference, okay, is proposed, okay. The study emphasizes on the variation of R wave, okay, so that is very clear. So he addressed all the problems, okay, and then come up with the idea, okay, to solve or to provide solutions. Okay. So then the objective, okay, the objective, the terms or the statement that you use normally to determine, to correlate, okay, to investigate, okay. So that is accepted, okay. Okay. So we need to have a general aims, okay. The study is aimed to investigate the behavior, okay. The following objectives are listed, okay, in order, okay, to aim of the study, okay. So this is the three objectives. So only minimum three, minimum three or two is three is okay, not more than three, okay, or for your master project, okay. Okay, scope and limitation, okay. So the study only cover on certain area, okay. So it's very important, okay, because when the reader read this statement, so he or she will not ask more than that, okay. Okay, so you should also address the significance of the study, okay, in your chapter 1, okay. Don't need to have expected finding in significance of study. So you should address what is the significance of your study, okay. I guess for the master project 1, okay, you should use the future sentence will be, okay, because you not carry out yet the test, okay. Okay, then on the literature review, okay, they have an introduction, okay, common defection, okay, that is the main problem. So put what we call as a diagram or any figures, okay, to explain. So this is very important. So let's say for uh, any people are not familiar with this topic, so when he reads, so he can understand. Okay, so explain as good as you can. Okay. So if you use any figures from any reference, so you need to put their reference as well. For example, like this one. Okay. So if you do if you what we call if you draw it again, so you can put after. Okay, means that you do some iteration on the previous figure. Okay. Okay. So this is one of example. Okay. I guess this is a very good um, project or uh, technical paper. Okay. Okay. Then later on, okay, he put in the table as well. Okay. So let's say if you have
Doctor,
a result from the previous researcher, you can also put a graph. Okay.
Doctor,
Yes.
sorry, Doctor, can you put
Ah.
this in WhatsApp group to
Yeah.
follow
I
it
can
as
I, I can
example?
I can share. Yeah, I can share it. Okay.
Yes, please. I want to follow the element to when I
Okay.
writing. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Good. Okay. So then the last part is on the summary. Summary is very important where we want to address what is the gap of knowledge that we want to provide. Okay. So 2.7 previous study related the problems. Okay. So okay. Okay. Show the summary. Okay. So remark is the comment. Okay. Okay. And this summary related to this table actually as well. Okay. Table 2.2. Okay. So in this summary, we want to discuss what is the limitation from the previous researcher. Okay, so that is for chapter 2. Okay, for the chapter 3, okay, so that's why I mentioned on the flow chart. Okay, so as a general procedure or method that you may use in your study later. Okay. So then from the flowchart, you need to explain, okay, for each what we call it, for each block or each box. Okay. So flowchart is the best way to present. Okay. So if you have equations, okay, you can also include. For me, all the equations actually should be discussed in the chapter 2 because this is related to a theoretical part. Okay. Only on the chapter 3 you discuss on the methods. Okay. Let's say if you put this in the chapter 2, okay, so you can call it again in the chapter 3, okay, by addressing, okay, as referred to equation 2.1 in chapter 2, okay, or as refer to equation 2.1, okay, you can put whatever statement, okay. So no need to put this equation in chapter 3, okay. It's better to put in chapter 2. Chapter 3 is more focused on the methods, okay, that you may use. Okay. Okay, so in your chapter 3, okay, you can show the diagram for your setup. Okay, if you want to show how many tests that you want to carry out, okay, you can put in a table as well. Okay. Okay. It's not important to have a summary in chapter 3. Normally summary is only include in chapter 2. Okay. There's no need to have a summary for each chapter, just only summary on the chapter 2 only. Okay. So then reference, okay, please make sure that you write in the proper way. So this is the best, this is among the right way to write for the reference. Okay. Okay. So that's all. So I will share this example in your WhatsApp. Or are you familiar with the e-learning?
Yes.
E-learning. You have the account for your e-learning.
Yes.
Okay. So I
Yes,
will
doctor,
include
but I prefer yes, doctor, but I prefer in WhatsApp group. That's clear.
Yes. Okay, I will include in the WhatsApp group, and also I will include in the e-learning. Okay, especially the video. Okay, for our recorded class. Okay, and also the what we call it on the slide as well. Okay, because the WhatsApp after a certain period you cannot, if you not download it, you cannot download it later. But in the e-learning you can download after you can download easily from the e-learning. Okay.
Okay, doctor, thank you.
Okay, I guess that's all for today. Okay, but if you have any problem, sorry. Okay, if you have any problem, so you can just text me. Okay. So yeah, personally, or you can I guess you can text me personally, because if you write in the WhatsApp, so might be I'm not aware on your message. Okay. Okay. So okay. Okay, that's all for today. Okay. So please prepare for your chapter 1, okay, for me to assess, and chapter 2, chapter 3 will be assessed by Dr. Hisham and Dr. Azilan. Okay. So with that, I end my class. So if you have any problem, you can text me. So we meet. I guess this is the last class for me. Okay. But you still can text me. Okay, if you have any problem. Okay. So with that, I end my class, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon.
Sorry, doctor. Today
yes.
you will share?
Huh?
Today you will share this?
I will share it this afternoon. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Doctor, as for the topic, do we need your approval before we proceed with the introduction? Before we
No
proceed
need,
with chapter 1?
no need. But you can get you can ask me if you feel if you want to ask, no problem.
And what about the supervisor? Do we have to find now or later?
Supervisor will be decided by the coordinator, not from not by the not from For example, your construction project management, Dr. Khairuzan is your
Yes.
coordinator, so you need to discuss with him.
Okay.
Okay.
But doctor, for me, I don't have supervisor. I will choose topic and tell you.
You need to discuss with your coordinator, your subject coordinator, your program coordinator.
Because I don't take project 1, doctor, not yet. I don't have supervisor.
I know, but later you will be assigned for a supervisor. Don't worry about that.
Yes, I will choose topic, doctor, and tell you about it, but because I
Okay.
don't have. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, any question?
For chapter 1 to chapter 3 ni ada do some Turnitin, the plagiarism percentage.
Yes, I guess. So please make sure that you not copy directly from any reference, okay, without rephrasing it. Okay, you can rephrase it from active to passive, okay, or you can use a different terms, okay. But you need to check for the plagiarism. Normally it should less than 20%. Okay,
20, doctor.
20% of similarity.
20.
2% maximum, Doctor.
Maximum.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Noted.
Because at the end, when you submit your master project, you also need to submit the turn-in result. It should less than 20%.
Okay.
It's better for you to start from now, so later on there will be no problems. Okay, especially on the literature review section or chapter. Okay.
Doctor, the last question. When the deadline for the research?
I'm not sure, Sarah.
Okay.
Maybe you can ask Dr. Hisham. Okay. Based on your schedule, the last meeting is on. When will be the last meeting? The last meeting. Let me show. Okay, the last meeting. Okay. So the last meeting is on 12th of September. Okay. Maybe you can submit on the week of 8. Okay. Can you see the PDF?
Yes.
The schedule?
Yes. You mean on 19 September?
19 September is yeah. I guess 19 September is still can, yeah, you try to submit on the 19th September.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so okay, thanks. Okay, so I will stop the sessions. Okay, so I will upload all the document and the video in the e-learning. Inshallah by today. Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.
Salam. Thank you, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.
Doctor. Salam.